Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about meta alternatives, weapons that are just as good as some of the new meta weapons, but are much easier to get and just accessible for the majority of the player base. So, if you're someone that doesn't really run raids, but still want to have some very effective weapons, then this is going to be the video for you. So we're going to be going over what they are, where to get them, and also what is the role that you should be looking for them to make the most out of them. And a lot of them, I gotta tell you right now, are gonna be really close to the real thing. So even if you never step into the raid, you'll always have a nice alternative that's pretty close to the real thing. So let's get into it, let's not waste any more time, and let's start with number 5. At number 5, we're gonna have alternatives for the Apex Predator rocket launcher. The best rocket in the game, it is still basically the go-to whenever any rockets are involved. And this one actually has a bunch of alternatives depending on what activity you actually want to do. There's actually quite a few that are going to be good. First, let's start with Vanguard, because Zaouli actually sells a really good rocket in the Hothead. The Hothead is going to be a fantastic weapon. Well, it doesn't have all the new perks the Apex Predator has. It does come with Explosive Light, which is a big one, and it can also come with auto-loading holster and Demolitionist. And it's also the same frame as the Apex, so the damage is going to be pretty similar. For this one, I definitely think that you should go Explosive Light, plus either Field Prep or Demolitionist. I really like Field Prep on the Hothead, because not only does it increase your ammo reserves, but it also gives you that faster reload speed whenever you're crouching. The Hothead is going to be a fantastic rocket. The main thing that's going to differentiate this and the Apex is that this one is arc, and the Apex is solar, and also there's not really any way for us to get our damage perk and also 2 rockets in the mag at the same time. But it's just so easy to get, since all you have to do is just turn in engrams to Zaouli, that I would say that it's definitely worth it if you don't have a good rocket. Now, if the Vanguard is not your thing and you want to go instead with Shax, you also have something like the Blowout. Now, the Blowout also has Explosive Light, although the Blowout does have a gajillion perks. You have so many perks on the Blowout that getting a good roll might be harder than getting a good roll on something like the Hothead. But if you have a lot of crucible engrams, maybe it is worth it to go and focus a Blowout, and you're going to be looking for a similar roll as you did on the Hothead. Basically, Explosive Light plus Field Prep or Demolitionist is going to be your best bet. And just like the Hothead is also an arc rocket, so we actually have like a ton of arc rockets. So whether you have a lot of crucible engrams or Vanguard engrams, you'll actually be able to get a pretty decent rocket. Now, you want to go one step above and farm some legendary lost sectors, you could actually go for the best replacement for the Apex Predator, which is going to be the Extermination. This is a rocket that got into the lost sectors this season, and this thing has some amazing perks, and it can even copy one of the most popular roles of the Apex, which is Reconstruction with Explosive Light. Reconstruction is huge, because not only does it give you that 2 in the mag, but it's also going to auto reload your rocket. So this is the rocket that you want to go for if you want to get as close as you can to the Apex Predator with your rocket. I would definitely recommend this thing. There's even times that this weapon is better than the Apex when it's arc burn and not solar, where people actually use this over the Apex. So I would definitely recommend this, and I would definitely recommend either Reconstruction or Clan Cartridge with Explosive Light. I would say that Bipod on it is also good for other content like GMs. So also keep that in mind if you get one with Bipod, don't just throw it away. Like I said earlier, this one will come from the lost sectors, but you just gotta pay attention what day, since it's only there on specific days. I will leave a link in the description or in the comments below where it will show you the day that this thing will be in the lost sectors. So check that out if you want to go for the Extermination. But for sure, this thing is going to be amazing, and it's as close as you get to the Apex without actually you straight up using the Apex. Now number 4, we're going to be taking a look at the Zaouli's Bane and his alternatives, also known as the legendary Sunshot. And that pretty much tells you the first one that you can use. You can use the Sunshot if you're not using an exotic slot, you could go for the Sunshot. But if you're looking more towards the legendary side, we're going to have 2 really good options that do a bit of a similar thing. The first one is going to be the Lunasal, a legendary hand cannon from Onslaught. And the Onslaught weapons are all about to get a little bit easier to farm, since you're going to be able to focus specific weapons in an upcoming update. This weapon, just like the Zaouli's Bane, is a 140 hand cannon with incandescent. It cannot roll with incandescent with explosive rounds, like the Zaouli's Bane, unfortunately, but it will be able to roll incandescent with something like heal clip. So when you won't have the extra damage from the explosive rounds, you're going to be healing after every kill, which is going to be really good as well, and you're still going to have incandescent doing that AoE damage and helping you build those scorch stacks. So this is going to be a pretty good alternative to the Zaouli's Bane. The one thing about the Luna's How that's very different to the Zaouli's Bane is just the recoil on the weapon, since the Luna's How is a precision frame hand cannon. So it kind of just shoots like this, compared to the normal way the Zaouli's Bane shoots. Now the other weapon is going to be the Poco integration. A lot of you guys probably already have this weapon, since it was a quest that was pretty easy to do. All you have to do is basically pick it up, go listen to some audio logs, and then Nimbus will give you the Poco integration. And this thing comes with a set roll, but it comes with a pretty good one for PvE, which is stats roll with incandescent. And this is gonna be fantastic. You still have the AoE power of incandescent, plus you have a very easy way of proccing stats roll, meaning that you're always gonna have that extra handling and reload speed, and the weapon is just gonna feel really good. It also comes with a pretty good origin trait with nano tracer rounds, meaning that after a couple of shots, it'll shoot a mini rocket, doing a bit of extra damage. So this is gonna be another fantastic weapon that you can use in place of the Zaouli's Bane. And a lot of you guys already may have this thing unlocked on your account, so you can use go into collections and actually pull it from there. Now the next weapon we're taking a look at is gonna be the Commemoration, the Deep Stone Crypt machine gun, and it's actually a very easy replacement for you guys waiting in Onslaught, and some people may even say that it's a better version of the weapon, but it's the one and only the Hammerhead. The Hammerhead is another great machine gun that pretty much gets everything done just like the Commemoration. The only difference I would say is that the Commemoration can roll with reconstruction, which is something that you cannot get on the Hammerhead, but you could get some other stuff like rewind rounds on the Hammerhead if you really want to extend your mag a little more, as well as getting some other good perks like destabilizing rounds, and being the only machine gun that can roll both Rampage and Killing Tally on the same roll for just insane at clear potential. This thing is amazing. Like I said, some people might even say that this is better than the Commemoration, and I actually do tend to use the Hammerhead more than the Commemoration. I would say to use wait for the update where you're going to be able to focus specific onslaught weapons, just so you have an easier time farming those couple of onslaught weapons I've recommended so far. That update should be coming pretty soon. And what you're looking for on the Hammerhead is pretty much anything that works with Killing Tally. A lot of perks are going to work with Killing Tally. Rewind rounds, so you want a bit more ammo. Destabilizing rounds, so you want a bit more ad clear. Or you're playing with a Void build, it adds a bit more synergy with the Void builds. Rampage, so you want the double damage combo. Or you could even go with something like MB Assassin if you want to overflow the magazine on the weapon. But all of them are going to pair up really well with Killing Tally. It's hard not to go with Killing Tally because it's just such a good perk. Next up, we're going to be stopping by the Swordbreaker, the 1-2 punch meta shotgun. Pretty much, if you're looking for a shotgun to do the 1-2 punch builds, this is probably what you're going to go with if you have it. But if you don't have it, we have two very good alternatives to it. The very first one's going to be one that just literally got added to the game, the Perfect Paradox. This weapon can get pretty much the exact same roll. You could get Threat Detector plus 1-2 punch, or Pugilist 1-2 punch, which is usually the role that people go for on the Swordbreaker. And you even have an origin trait that pairs up really well with melee builds. So this is going to be a fantastic replacement. The only thing that you don't get with the Perfect Paradox that you do get with the Swordbreaker is that it is not a lightweight frame shotgun. So you don't get the extra handling and also the increased movement speed since this is rapid fire. Instead, you get increased ammo reserves and faster reloads when the magazine is empty. But besides that, everything else is pretty similar to the Swordbreaker. This is pretty much as close as you're gonna get. Now, our second choice, it is a lightweight frame shotgun, so if you're looking for that feeling of the Swordbreaker, then the Wasteland RM5, this is the one that you want to go for, and you're gonna be able to get this one from the Dares of Eternity, the Horsey games. This is where you get this one. You can go in there, start grinding it, and there's a chance that you'll be able to not only get this weapon, but after enough of them actually crafted as well. Well, this one can get the 1-2 punch to the detector combo, but it can actually get 1-2 punch with Pugilist, which is also a pretty amazing role for the melee builds. So this again is gonna be a really good feeling shotgun, and since this is a lightweight frame shotgun, it'll feel really close to the Swordbreaker, and you'll pretty much get about the same results. This is probably like the closest the weapons are gonna get to their raid counterpart. So those two shotguns are both gonna be fantastic and great alternatives for the Swordbreaker. Now for the last weapon we're gonna talk about today, it's gonna be the Supremacy, since the snipers have been getting some more play lately. And the closest you're gonna get to the Supremacy, and actually might be even better thanks to the seasonal mods, is gonna be the Aikello Sniper Rifle, a solar rapid fire frame sniper. And this weapon comes from the Operation Seraph Shield, the exotic mission. So that mission actually shows up every 3 weeks, so whenever you see it around, make sure you get in there and get this weapon. Now this weapon won't be able to 1-for-1 copy the Supremacy, because there's some perks that you can get on this weapon that you can on the Supremacy, like kinetic tremors, since this weapon is not a kinetic weapon. But you also have some pretty good perks of your own on this weapon, like 4 times the charm plus Focus Fury will let you shoot quite a bit of bullets, while also having that big damage increase. Also, the Aikellos can fully take advantage of the seasonal mods currently. This only applies to this season when the video comes out. But yeah, all those solar sniper mods, this thing takes advantage of them fully. So you're gonna be doing tons of ignitions with the Aikellos, also doing a bit more damage. So this one is not a 1-to-1 with the Supremacy. It definitely is close enough, and it gets the job done in a similar way as the Supremacy, that I would definitely say that this is a good alternative. The only bad thing that sucks about it is that the mission that it drops from, if you don't have it already, only comes around every 3 weeks. But with that one, we're actually gonna wrap up today's video. Those were the best raid weapons and some of the alternatives that you guys can go for. If you guys have any like alternative weapons that maybe I didn't mention, or maybe they are for like a completely other meta weapon that I didn't mention in this video, since I kinda just focused on the raid ones, then let me know that in the comments below. But regardless, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. Good luck if you're gonna go get any of these weapons, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care everyone, have a good rest of your day. Once again, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.